Sure, you remember Forrest Fezler as a great ball striker during his days on tour. A former California amateur champion, Forrest set numerous scoring records as an amateur and pro. But did you know that his Q School class is considered the best ever for sheer talent? Besides Forrest, 1971 included players such as Tom Watson, John Mahaffey, Bruce Fleischer, and Lanny Watkins. Despite his 8 second-place finishes and a win at the Southern Open, Forrest is best known as the runner-up to Hale Irwin at the 1974 U.S. Open. Called the Massacre at Winged Foot, the USGA was determined to prevent a repeat of Johnny Miller's 63 at Oakmont. Long, rough, and rock-hard greens caused scores to skyrocket, and 7 over par was the winner. So let's watch a few highlights from ABC's coverage of the finishing holes of that grueling event.
The par 3 13th. But Forrest Fezler has really come on strong. He's won under par for the day. He's never won a tour event, yet he won $106,000 last year, Tony, so he has to be considered a super player.
Oh, there's no question about that, Frank.
And the man on the left, Forrest Fezler.
These putts are always important, Frank, as you know, but especially at such a crucial stage as the last 4 holes in the U.S. Open. These are really... This is when the hole starts to fill up.
Of course, from here, they'll turn home into the wind. 16, 17, and 18. Fezler gets his par 4. At 15, he remains 3 shots off the lead. Jim?
They call him Forrest Fuzzy Fezler. And there are many similarities between him and Tom Watson. They're both 24 years old. Fezler 19 days younger than Watson. It's the 3rd year for both of them on the tour. Neither one of them has won yet. Both have tremendous potential. They both went to college in California. Fezler at San Jose City College. Of course, Tommy Watson at Stanford. This is the 452-yard par 4. Many people have not made it in 2 because they turn into wind. You've got to get out there, hopefully a little bit on the right. And he's gone too far to the right and into the rough, but as you can see, he's sitting up. It won't be too bad. A bit of minutiae on this young man. His family goes for alliterative names. He's Forrest Fuzzy, of course. His mother and father are Fern and Floyd. His brother and 2 sisters are Phil, Phyllis, and Fauna. However, he has nieces and nephews named Timmy, Tammy, Tommy, and Travis, if you believe that.
Yeah, they're fairly tight. He's just going to have to try to play it out and not worry about getting it too close to the hole. And I'm sure he knows, until Hale made that birdie anyhow, if he could make 3 4s here at 16, 17, and 18, he would have a very good chance to win this tournament. But he's not going to be able to put anything on the ball at all. It should run quite a bit.
Run almost to the other side of the green. He'll be putting for a par from a long way off, about 30 to 35 feet. Forrest Fezler with 2 holes remaining. Remember, though, this is the kind of a golf course where somebody or anybody could take 7. It really is a little premature, even though he's 3 strokes behind, and maybe 4 if he doesn't make this. Will be 4 if he doesn't make this. It's a good effort, but he's had it. Sensational putt by Fezler. Still alive. The 24-year-old from California. And when Dave Marr was talking to me earlier about character, I think that's what he meant. Is that it, Dave?
That was a very good effort and a lot of character to make 4 from where he did, because he's at it off the world.
Hey, how about another look at that? There it is. Great speed, and he kind of got up on his toes about this point as it went straight back down the middle of the hole. For Watson, 5-hole Palmer. We'll be right back.
We wait for Fezler himself. Here's a par 4. Here we are. Now, he seemed very happy with that, just walked on afterwards. It nearly always means it's down the middle. Now, on the 17th, we saw Fezler push his drive out to the right, and there he is, through the trees there, with no hope, we think, of getting the green. 444 yards. Let's get as near as he can. There he is, right through the trees. And now we wait to see how near. Oh, that's a very fine shot. It's in the bunker, I agree, but it's a long shot from there, and in the bunker on the left of the green, rather short of.
Okay, Henry, over to you at 17.
Now we come back to the 17th green, and The bull you see in the foreground, or did a moment ago, is Lou Graham. We haven't mentioned him, but he's only 10 over. And now Fezler is 8 over. Only 2 behind. And a very fine long shot to get there out of the trees. Well, they don't come much better than that at a moment like this, and it's certainly no more than 4 feet.
Welcome, St. Anne's, as we go back to our British commentator and friend, Henry Longhurst.
Now we saw that brilliant recovery by Fezler from the bunker on the left of the green. I should say it's 4 to 4.5 feet. This would keep him within 2 of the leader.
That would be 2 miraculous 4s in a row for this young man, Henry.
It would indeed. Oh, right in the middle. This championship, that might well be the winner, although he's 2 behind at the moment. Fezler just finishing the 17th.
Quickly to Chris.
Forrest Fezler, second shot on the home hole. Remember, he is 8 over, only 2 shots away at this moment. He apparently has a clear shot, but he has to come out of some grass that has been walked on a lot, and he comes off to the right and just into the fringe. So this is going to be a tough way to make a 4 at the 72nd hole. Okay, Jim.
Tom Watson did not make the birdie. This for the par now. Interesting, what we're seeing here is great shots. Not to make birdies usually, but to make pars. The great golfers of the world, makes the par, of course. Great golfers of the world have not suddenly lost their skills before your eyes. What you're seeing is as difficult a golf course, almost all of them agree, as they have ever played on.
Reason because here's Forrest Fezler, David Marr, coming up with the biggest shot of his life. No question about it, right here.
Well, he stood on the green. He's really looked the shot over, and while he was standing Lou Graham to play his shot, they changed the scoreboard at 18. So he knows that Hale Irwin is now 7 over, and he is within 1 shot. So he knows that Hale still has to play 17 and 18, and I'd hate to try to make 2 4s on those 2 holes to win this tournament.
Now, this is his 3rd stroke on the par 4, 18th, remember.
It's almost, again, an impossible shot to get close to the hole. I think he's going to have to depend on some sort of long putt. If he could get within 10, 12 feet, he's played a good shot. But it just hit that little knoll and ran by the hole about 15 feet. That's about as good as he could do, Chris.
That is the truth. Forrest Fezler, who is 8 over and out on 17. Hale Irwin is 7 over. And, of course, everything is very silent around the 72nd hole, the 18th green. Forrest Fezler, who has never won, yet won over 100,000 last year, has had 3 second-place finishes in big events. As you see the story visually, Hale Irwin at 17, 7 over. Forrest Fezler at 18, 8 over. This putt, 15 feet or more, perhaps a little bit more, is for a par 4 to remain 8 over, David.
Well, there's so many things that can happen. Miss, and in fact shoots 289. Hale could possibly bogey the last 2 holes for 289, and anybody at 10 that could make a birdie could shoot 289. I mean, it's still, anybody 10 is not out of it. If he makes this, though, you may have your champion right there. I think he's hit it a little to the right. It went the opposite way. I could see him turn to Lou Graham. I felt like it might break a little to the left, too, and just when he thought it was going to break the left, it moved out a little bit to the right.
Just barely tapped it, and that baby took off.
Well, he's still got 1 left, too.
I guess. This is for a bogey 5 to put him in at 9 over, or 289.
But by no means out of it.
No.
I mean, if Hale's in the rough to the left at 17, he's got no cinch par there by any means.
Now, if he makes this putt, Forrest Fezler, give him an even par round of 70 today, while Palmer is for a par at the 17th green. He would remain then 10 over.
Well, let's say they both got to make them to have any chance.
Right.
Well, that's the story of Arnold this week, I think.
All right.
tonight for Forrest Fezler. He gets that round of applause at the 72nd hole. It's a bogey 5. He finishes 9 over. He is the leader at the moment with a round of 70. And congratulations.
Let's join Keith Jackson.
Chris, I'm standing here just off the 18th green, or the 72nd hole, with a young man who became a very dramatic figure as the day wore on, Forrest Fezler, who shot a 70 today, a brilliant round of golf, and now is in a posture of anxious waiting.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I thought if I shot 67 today, I might have a chance to win, but or might have a chance to win a tournament or even come in second. I'm really surprised.
You've had second place finish 3 different occasions now. I thought perhaps the law of averages were going to fall your way today. Of course, they still might.
Yeah, you never know. This course is just so tough.
But right now, things are looming bad for Hale Irwin. If he went bogey-bogey, of course, this would all be tied up in, of course, a playoff. Okay, Henry.
To me, looking about the green, more like 120 yards. And if he can get it within 10 feet, he'll be doing very well. Is a very courageous and magnificent shot at this moment, and it is just about the 10 feet that I mentioned. And he gets his par, but this is the one that matters. About 10 feet. He's played 3, this par 4. Oh! Well, what a putt.
I don't think he's got enough club here. There haven't been very many iron shots hit over the screen, but he's hit a wonderful looking shot.
Adrenaline. Look at that adrenaline. On the flag.
Well, as I said, he probably...
In is Hale Irwin with a round of 73, 7 over. Second, Forrest Fezler. Tied for third, Lou Graham and Bert Yancey. We'll be back. As you look at scores of top players, Johnny Miller, the defending champion, at 22 over. Tom Weiskopf, who will be going to Rollitham and St. Anne's to defend his British Open Championship. Bruce Crampton, Hubert Green at 20.
Sure you will. And Forrest Fezler, the best of you. Your turn will come.
Thank you, Keith. I hope so.
So there are the 2 young men who provided the greatest drama of the day as Hale Irwin wins the 1974 U.S. Open Golf Championship here at Wingfoot in Mamaroneck, New York.
Folks, would you please move behind the rope?
Here again is Chris.